I'm walking in my purpose. I'm walking in my purpose.
Today with us on Stool Talk, we have with us a special guest. Here on Stool Talk, we walk in our purpose on purpose. And today's guest, a phenomenal mother, phenomenal woman of God, a servant. When I see her, I see her selflessness. I see how she serves. I see how she goes after God and how she is always willing to help. And that's what we need, more people like that, to see what she's doing and see what God is doing in her life. It's so amazing. So today we have with us Miss Tam. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me. How are
Yeah,
you?
no problem, no problem. Yeah, you have a great servant's heart. You serve in different ministries. You do a lot, and you still have to make sure you together, make sure your son together. Where did this servant heart come from? Like how was it growing up?
Um, Honestly, I've always loved to help people. Like I don't know, since I was young, I've always liked to help. Even in the classroom, I was always, helping out the teacher or helping out my classmates. Growing up, I definitely seen my mom being very active in our lives and like the different things that we were a part of. So like cheerleading, band for my sister, different things. So I guess I would say in-house, my mom definitely modeled that for sure, and just a natural inclination of it.
Yeah. What was your first sign of God or faith, or that you knew God was real? Did you grow up in the church, or did you know about God? Like, how was that for you growing up?
Growing up, we definitely were in church. Since I can honestly remember like 4 or 5, pretty young, very young. I remember going to like children's church and like learning different things. We went to Destiny. Um, I can't remember what the full name is, but I just know it was Destiny. So I remember that was the very first church that I can recall. And as we got older, I served as like, youth choir, and then they would have us on the junior usher board, the dance ministry, and just different things that they needed to use to help out with. So that's pretty standard during my youth ages. And then when I got to college, I did join a women's ministry, and that was the turning point in like the start of me having like a real true relationship,
Yeah.
instead of just doing something I'm used to doing. That was when I definitely got that firm foundation in my relationship with Christ. And then eventually I was blessed to become like the president over that ministry. So having to juggle everything as well as try to be the best example as I could as a college student. Yeah.
So how was that for you, being that you're a college student, you're juggling the ministry, you're juggling schoolwork, you're juggling just life in general? How was that, and how did you handle it?
I definitely could say it was difficult. It was not easy, because as you know, like we're set apart. And I know for me personally, and with a lot of people, it's a struggle with being okay with being set apart. And so oftentimes we find ourselves like, masking things or just like finding different things to consume our time so we don't have to like think about or do something that we really know we should be doing. But it honestly, it just felt right and it felt good. Even when I knew that like I am struggling, like I don't know how I'm supposed to lead a Bible study right now when I don't even know how I'm gonna pay this bill. I don't like I'm struggling in my relationship. How am I supposed to, encourage more than 30 women about something that I'm going through? So sometimes it was very hard and I definitely had to like lean in. Other times I didn't lean in and I was like, I need to take a step back. But even when I wanted to take a step back, I had to like God just pull you and be like, hey, I don't know what you think you're doing, but this is what you need to be doing. And then it just felt right. I did see a lot of times, and even like with the other e-board members that I served with, when we were going through something the most is when we really needed to be doing like we realize this is where we should be, this is what we should be doing. Like we're able to lean on someone that's like-minded. Like we're literally supposed to be sisters walking through this together. So I am grateful for that experience.
Yeah. So I know faith played a major factor in that because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of them not being seen. You didn't see what the outcome was going to be. You didn't see that God was pruning you, setting you apart, and just making sure his will be done and not your will. Can you speak to how important it is and what it means to say I'm going to give up myself and things that I want to do because I know God is calling me or God is using me and I need to be obedient to this,
Mhm.
because if you don't do it right then he gonna take you around the corner and bring you right back to where you was gonna be in the beginning. So you might as well do it. Speak on that, because a lot of youth, they struggle with that. They might know that God is calling them to something, or they might think they can't do it, but they need to just listen to God.
Yeah, for sure. I think that everyone will reach a point. It will be a certain situation or something that they even if it doesn't happen to them directly, they'll see someone else go through something, and then they'll be like, if that was me, if I was in those shoes, I know I wouldn't be able to get past that. Like I remember, like even just relate to use anyone that's like in college or in high school, towards the end of the year, you've been
Mm.
playing around, you've been studying, you've been doing your work, you've been showing up, you've been doing this, you've been doing that. But then the end of the year, them grades coming around, and then you just like, God, I'm literally have to put this in your hand because I can only do so much. So you have to have faith that, okay, I'm studying enough. I'm in my study groups. I'm in the library, to whatever time, and I'm gonna exert my own strength and then allow the Lord to come on it and take over. So I think you have to really just get to a place of being able to submit, which is very hard.
Yeah.
In whatever facet, whatever age you're at, just knowing that, okay, once I submit, then I'll give it to my Father who is all knowing, all powerful. So if I can't do it, I know He's not going to leave me by the wayside, because He never leaves nor forsakes us. So it's just knowing that I can't see it, but I know that it's coming. Like, that's actually that song been in my mind all day. Actually, that's so crazy. But like we literally can't see some of the things, but we know that it's going to come. That's just like if you are an athlete, you're working towards, I'm trying to be first round, I'm trying to be the QB number one. I'm gonna work as hard as I can, and then I'm gonna leave it up to, at the end of the day, the coaches and my talent, my effort, my faith in myself is gonna speak for me to get to that place.
Yeah. And we gonna come back to this, but I just want to say that's why it's so amazing and so dope that you're a woman of faith, is because you like that with your son and you know the word, so you put the word into him, and with him playing sports is helpful. Even though it's coming from you, what you saying, he can identify with that because he know God, he got a relationship with him, and it's gonna make him want to get on my grind. My mama
Right.
said I gotta have faith and I gotta do what I need to do if I can be on that field and do that. That's what's amazing with that. You talked about knowing who you were, you talking about being set apart. Speak to the young females that might be dealing with identity, not knowing who they are or trying to fit in. Here we have social media, everybody has to do selfies, get a picture, get a post that don't got that many like, compare themselves. Now they looking at their body might not be the same when our body is God's temple anyway, but
Right.
they're trying to fit in. So now they feel like they got to change their clothes, they got to do all this stuff, and that's not really them, and they may have a calling inside their life. Speak to identity and how should they go about finding their true one.
Right. I think that it is a process, finding your identity or refinding your identity, because what I found out is that now in the age that I'll be 27 at the end of the month. So like all of that time when I was unsure, I was confused, I was just trying different things, assimilating to different cultures. And I knew like, okay, this was kind of cool, but this ain't really me. And then all just to come back to who I was prior to when I let comparison or fear or doubt or, allowing social media to come and like regulate and change my mind. So I would say, as a point of protection, to guard your ear and your mind gates and your eye gates, that when you feel yourself getting in a situation where you're comparing yourself a lot, or you're feeling doubtful of who you are, or you're just unsure, turn off social media. We don't need it. Take a break, log out, delete the app, whatever you got to do, whatever is coming in or seeping in, because the devil likes to seep in and like mess up your mind and mess up your thoughts. So whenever you are in those positions, you need to just take a step back for whatever is making you feel that anxiety, and then go into prayer. Like, just go into prayer and go into your Bible, because the word will reaffirm who you are and
Yeah.
reaffirm what you should be aiming or aspiring to be, like the type of women or men you're aspiring to be. And I definitely think, like I said, it's a cycle, in a process. I had to definitely go through that, and it's many stages. And you hit on something like comparing, especially comparing your bodies. Like,
Yeah.
even myself, I dealt with body dysmorphia myself, and I had to learn, like, okay, I'm fine. Like, okay, I'm okay. My body is cool. I'm good. I have to get okay and be satisfied with me. Because if you're not satisfied with yourself, you aren't, how can I say this? If you aren't satisfied with yourself, you aren't going to be able to, one, help anyone else. Two, you're not going to be a positive or wreak any positive energy onto the other people. And then sometimes you will find yourself pushing out your own doubts, pushing out your own fears, pushing out all of your apprehensions onto other people in different ways. And you never want to do that. So you have to like check yourself, check your mind, check what you're saying about yourself, check what you're comparing yourself to, because social media is an illusion. It's an optical illusion. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing everyone should remember. It's an optical illusion. Most people are putting out what they think you want to see to make you think that they're living a life that they aren't. And then there's others that's giving you raw and true, but it's very far few in between that they're giving you the raw, the real, the true every single day.
Yeah, and what you said, it spoke something. Comparison is the thief and stealer of joy. So,
Correct.
like you said, if you comparing yourself, if somebody come up to you, now your joy is coming, you gonna splash your negativity on them. But what you said about how the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, not necessarily kill us in the physical, but kill your dreams, kill your purpose, kill your thoughts. Negativity spread on you. So now it's taking you away from your purpose. Now you ain't even reading your word. You're not even praying. You're not even walking in faith because you over here sad and now you depressed. Now he didn't put depression on you because he was trying to, get you off of your path. So that's why it's really important to know who you are. And when you know who you are, a lot of those things that you think you might want, and it attracts the wrong people.
It
Because
does.
whoever God got for you gonna like and want you, with however shape, size, however
Right.
you are, that person is gonna be for you because God already knows, he already knows everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely good, because also, like, when you are going through that trial and that tribulation of not knowing who you are, you can push away the very people that like God put in your path, put there to help you, to help mold you, to help push you to reaffirm and confirm the things that he said about you and the purpose that you should be walking in. So yeah, that's really good.
yeah, and I just want to say continue and keep on because from you being obedient from college is keep on going to now. Yeah, it might be ups and downs, but it's where you at right now in the present, and you're taking initiative to be able to serve and you taking intentional steps. A lot of times dealing with the youth, and I know even with the crew, it's a lot of people, they got great gifts and talents,
Mhm.
but they worried about what their friends say. They worried about this and how it looks instead of walking in their purpose, instead of just going ahead and pushing out because that's who you are. Or they like, wanting to know, like, man, is it okay to be this person? I know I got a calling on me. I know God is anointing me or whatever. Is it okay? But to have them be confident, and you know, the devil is a liar because God's already chosen them. They're already chosen, and they're gonna walk and they're gonna be able to prophesy, pray, be able to walk in their gifts and be confident and be bold as lions, you know, and you know, and not worry about what the other person got to see. And I know with you being young, leading the group, and now you got that sense of maturity. So it's not about your age limit. Now, when you come into a ministry like Embassy City, shout out to Embassy City,
Shout
you
out,
know,
shout out, shout out.
now you be able to get cultivated, get poured into, and get pruned to you growing because you at a different level. And the Bible says you go from glory to glory to glory. So now you elevating, you know, now you at another level to where you ready to grow some more, you know, and you can see it in you because you want to, like, you can see, like, you help anybody need this, I'm helping, or the way you serve and the way you love on people is dope. How do you balance being a single mother, serving in the church, multiple ministries, and supporting your son in his activities, especially football?
Um, honestly, keeping everything written down in a schedule. Honestly, I just look and it has taken me some time to accomplish and master saying no and knowing my limits and knowing, you know, I can help you only to a certain extent so I don't overexert myself. I think that's one of the main things I learned in college. Like I'm no good if I'm pouring from an empty cup, you know? So learning how to pour back into myself or being around people that can pour back into me after I've just, you know, basically not always depleted, but kind of depleted myself in my either energy wise or just my time wise. So honestly, I think God has definitely graced me, allowing me to experience that and learning and strategizing. And honestly, sometimes it doesn't even feel like, well, when I'm driving, I don't like driving. I don't when I'm not driving, like it really just it doesn't even feel like anything. Like it just feels like it feels good. I'm having fun. I'm, you know, learning new things. I'm helping people. So I don't even think about like, oh, am I tired right now? Oh, I woke up at, you know, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and it's, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 at night, and you know, I've been going all day. Like it really rarely hits me like that. Probably just on the weekends, but then that's when I take, you know, I'm chilling, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm watching, I like to binge watch you know, HGTV and whatnot. So when I have that moment, and then when I have my time with God too, that's when you know, I'm able to replenish that energy that like exerted.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna ask you. How do you find time to have your time, alone time, even with God and even by yourself, just to breathe in? Someone said the example as when you pour into so many people, you pour into so many people, and now when it's time for you to pour out to somebody else, you so exhausted like a laundry basket. So you pour water and then water comes everywhere else. So you got to make sure that you find time to fill yourself up or allow God to be able to minister to you and pour you back up because you ain't gonna be no good empty. You ain't gonna be no good, you know, depleted, you know. Um, what motivates you to actively serve in church with the activities and being dedicated to your you know, your life and your job as being a mother?
Right. What motivates me is I genuinely love helping people. Like I really love helping people. I like helping out. And I know that what my efforts, no matter like how big or small, how long or how short it is, that it's going to have a everlasting effect that's going to be in the realm of this world that we're in a way longer than I'll be alive. So I know like it's bigger than me. I know that, you know, like you said earlier, I'm getting cultivated at Embassy. So what the training that I'm going through, the cultivation, the building that I'm doing right now isn't just for me. And I think that's what motivates me the most. I'm just like, okay, I can see somewhat of the bigger picture. I can't see each specific details, but I know like what this big picture is and what I need as an individual in the skill sets and the heart that I need to have to be able to accomplish like what God needs me to accomplish.
Yeah. How has faith played a role in you shaping your son's connection with church and God? Just like it's a video, and I'll post a video on there down at the bottom. You can see it. He shouting, worshiping like him and Daniel up there with it. Like he got
Yeah.
it, so you know he's serious. So how do you, continue to motivate him and continue to encourage him?
Yeah, I feel like since he has seen me since he was a toddler, like actively either when I was in college, like leading a Bible study, or we're, feeding the homeless, or we're somewhere painting a old building, like whatever we're doing, he was right there. So I think my biggest ex thing is he saw by example. So like I'm leading and showing him the way, even when I don't have the words. And but that was one of my prayer points for a very long time. Like I took him to the altar a few times. I was just like, God, like I want you to have your will, have your way over his life. Like don't let me get in between y'all's relationship or whatever you have this desire for him to do. I really want him to have that, even when I don't know the words, even when I'm not the best example, because like, I'm not perfect, and I'm still growing and learning as a mom. So I'm just like, God, I already know I was aware enough, sensitive enough, and humble enough to be like, God, make me the fit mother that you see me to be and what he needs, and make sure I don't get in the way. So yeah, I definitely think that him, even with him coming to intercessory prayers with me, every time you see me, you most likely going to see him. So I think the biggest thing that I have been able to do is just show him, even when he asks me certain things, I'm just like, okay, let me figure out how I can word this in a way that an 8-year-old can understand. So that is like a challenge, but it is kind of like a fun challenge, like, okay, how can I break this down for you?
Yeah. How has that influenced you in your own spiritual journey?
It has definitely made me like, okay, he has lots of questions, so I need to make sure I'm in my word for real. Like for real.
Yeah. Can you share a memorable moment of you just helping somebody in the community, at church, or at your son's game, or in life, that really blessed you, and how you really was a blessing to someone?
Ooh. Um mm, 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 mm. I think, ooh, just one.
It don't matter. You can do a couple. It don't matter.
Okay. Well, I will say I was the team mom for his football team. And though it definitely stretched me, basically having like 18 to 20 year 8-year-old kids, boys, all at once, I definitely enjoy, being there, especially being that divider between, you got their parents yelling on the sidelines, like asking them what they got going on. And then you got the coaches like, yelling them too. And I'm just like that, place of balance, like, I can reaffirm them and then also soothe them when they need it because they are kids. So that it actually did bring me joy, no matter like what the circumstances was. It was just like, wow, this is, and seeing all the different personalities, so that, yes. Another one that really, me and Jace, oftentimes like we'll go feed the homeless. So just seeing him like really eager to go help, like make the plates and pass it out, and seeing how happy the other people were, the people we were serving was, and like so shocked that I had him with me and he was just so young and helping out. So yeah, those would be the top two.
Yeah. What advice would you give to another single parent navigating in some roles, as far as church engagement, parenting, supporting other children in their activities. Because some moms don't know how to be able to allow their kids to play sports and still be active in church, or let alone with have their kids in church versus. And that's what I think is really, amazing about you too. Like you got it time to, okay, I can do this, but this is as far as I can do. Some people overexert themselves, so now their kids not in church and they in
Mm.
church, but they missing church because of sports, or they, just fall off just because of sports. But you navigate and you make sure that y'all in the house, you make sure you still serving and that he's involved.
Right. My advice would be is take a look at everything that you have going on and figure out and order things in the importance. Like, so your relationship and how you are stewarding your kids should be the very first thing. Sports are going to come and go. Sports are going to come and go. Yes, we want them to be developed. Yes, we want that opportunity and that exposure. But you also, like, for me personally, for this specific season, on Tuesdays, I would go drop him off, and then I would come serve with media or PMT, and then somebody will drop him to me. Like, so asking for help would be the biggest thing. Asking for help. It definitely is something that I still have to get used to. But as a single mom, I most of the times in I don't have a choice. I have to ask for help if I truly want to um be basically in multiple places at one time. And I think that you prioritize what's important to you. So, for me, my relationship with Christ, walking in my purpose, cultivating myself is what is important to me, and making sure that my son is able to do the same at his pace and at his age, and having him in a place where I don't I don't really have that many male friends that are as deep in their word or deep in their purpose. So having a church home to be able to bring him and see men active in church, serving, worshiping, praising the Lord, is exactly what I need. It's a blessing, and it's something. It is one of the things that I definitely prayed for God, like put me to a church home that will help not only me but Jace as well, because I know that certain things about manhood I can give advice, but
Yeah.
I can't attest to it. I can't really teach him. So having a church home is having another family. And honestly, sometimes you may communicate with your church family more than your real family, because that's how they'll see you at all moments. They'll see you at all moments, and will be able to help and support you, because you're equally yoked.
Yeah.
So I would just encourage you, find you a church, pray about it. God's going to reveal it. Trust me, because I definitely was praying and praying and praying, and I was passing embassy and didn't even know. And then look at me now. So
Yeah. Did you deal with anything when you had your son young? Did you deal with any like shame? Did you deal with any embarrassment? Did you feel some type of way even though you were saved and knew you were Christian? Because me, I had a child young, I had multiple kids young, and it kind of had me feeling some type of way. I was like, man, these people about to judge me and all like that. God had to really like no, my grace is sufficient. Like, I already repented, so I know God forgave me. He's going to help me. He's got me through it. So how did you feel during that transition? And after you speak to that, secondly, speak to a young lady that might be feeling some type of way in that situation.
it was it was a lot of emotions, and a lot of the devil coming in and messing up my mind, and my emotions and my spirit for sure. Um, and I think that at one point I did allow like that fear, that judgment and all of those things to like take hold of me, only because I did experience like someone, like, what's the word, trolling me on like social media, like on multiple social media accounts. And mind you, like I had my son my freshman year of college, so like for me it's just like, oh, this is not my plan. I wasn't even trying to, like, I wasn't like I wasn't even really like that. So it's just like, how did this even happen? I'm so confused, you know? So I think once I pulled myself back and was like, well, this is where I'm at. Like this is what it is, and this is what it's going to be. I had to, one, like, forgive myself, and then allow myself to remember, like, I'm still a child of God. You know, I've I've made this mistake. I've ended up in this situation. Um, and what can I do? You know? So my encouragement would be just whenever you are feeling doubtful or feeling whatever way, or like fearing concerned about whether people are going to think or say, because that's not their life, you know? Unless they're actively helping you, don't even let it bounce off of you. Let it bounce off of you. If they're not offering words of encouragement, inspiration, the word of the Lord, we're not even concerned. And I think that's what I should have did a lot sooner, instead of like hearing the things, reading the things, seeing the things, or just thinking the things, and then letting it seep into my spirit and seep into my heart. So one, if it's not the word of the Lord, we're not concerned.
Yeah.
Two, be surrounded by people who will be able to help you in those moments. And then three, just that's the best time to strengthen your relationship with Christ. And like, all you can do is pray. Just pray for guidance, pray for strength, pray for the peace, pray for that your heart will be mended, pray for healing for your body, because birth isn't a simple thing. It's
Yeah.
kind of traumatic to, like, your body. It's going to be, a whole new body that you have afterwards. So just pray for all of the things that you're concerned about. Just pray on it, and allow the God to surely mend those things and give you the proper strategies, and allowing you with the proper people that you need to, like, walk through that, and be open and be honest. Vulnerability is very key during those times, especially that first year after having a kid. Because if you hold it all up, then that's when you start to seep into depression and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that was so good. And it's a blessing to see, that you're not stuck in that moment, that God still grows you and he still elevates you because God qualifies the unqualified. Who is to
Right.
say he uses a single mother? Who's to say he uses a single father with, multiple kids, but still, call them into ministry, still call them to do the work because that's what we have to do. And it's good to people to see that no matter what you do when you fall, God still is there to pick you up and bring you out, for he knows the plans that he have for us.
That's so good. That's so
Yeah.
good.
So we just thank you for giving us this time opportunity to come on the show. I don't take it for granted. Time is something that you can't get back. And I just pray that God just continue to elevate you. He gives you strength. He fill you up. He gives you the capacity to be the best mother, the best woman of God that you can be, and that he gives you the strength to serve on multiple ministries, and that whatever your hands touch will be blessed, and may your steps be ordered. Overflow this year in your life, in your finances, in your business, in your job, your career, even with Jace, may he do all the wonderful things, and may he show you, may he cover you, keep you, and abound in your life.
Yes, amen. Thank you. I received that.
Yep, yep, yep.
But I know, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate
Yeah,
you, even thinking about me and giving me the
yeah.
opportunity. That's
Yeah, because you somebody, I'm saying I'm not the only one that see that. Other people see it, and your story and your journey and just your heart, man. That's what it's about. The people that's really walking and really doing it, they need to be, spotlighted.
I hear you. That's, yeah. And that's something that I guess we all could take away
Yeah,
from
yeah.
that.
And like I said, you selfless. You ain't doing stuff on purpose. Like you ain't even know until I said, yeah, you got that servant heart. We need to talk about serving, talk about your journey and how it wins. Cause you, Tam, are walking in your purpose on purpose.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Yep, it's been good.
It has. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.